Good morning, everyone. Game changer. Game changer. What's yours? Do I have one? It's a good question. Game changer. What's yours? See, this is the completion of the discourse of the bread of life in John's gospel. And so typically it's 5 weeks. Now last week it was interrupted by the solemnity of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And so if you remember when we first started this discourse, it was Jesus feeding the 5,000. And we focused in on the reality that, this beautiful act and sacrifice was something that fed them, not just physically, but in their humanity. And that's what Jesus does in the Eucharist. Again, that is a beautiful sculpture of wood on steel. It's a symbol of what actually is made present to you and me in the Eucharist. Jesus laid the act of sacrifice, laying himself down, saying, I love you, I give myself to you. It's the covenant, a total gift of self. It's the oblation, it's the pouring out of his blood, his emptying his very self, is made present right here. Act of love. We, in our humanity, are fed when somebody who loves us acts in a manner that shows their love. They take out the trash without asking. They stop off at the supermarket and get that item that we don't have and that we want because they noticed it. It could be as small as that or something really great. Whatever it is, we are fed by being in the presence of an act of sacrifice. That's what he gives us in the Eucharist. We're fed by that. The next week, he went to a different place. They all followed him, and he said, you're following me because I fed you physically. Hunger and thirst for that which is eternal. And we answered the question, why do we come to Mass? Hopefully every single one of you can answer that question. So a little 3-year-old says, why do we have to come to Mass? Because I said so. All right, no, not that, okay? It's because we have to go to Mass every week because Jesus wants to embrace us. See, because God is made present in a most amazing way. And we go to Mass to be embraced. We don't get that anywhere else. We get it at Mass, that the eternal embraces us. The following week then, we went to that experience where he reveals himself as, I am the bread of life. Our ancestors ate manna in the desert, but they died. The bread that my Father gives is the bread of life, the one who has come down from heaven. I am the bread of life. He reveals that. And that bread is something that is supernatural and nourishes. And there's the point. It's supposed to nourish us. And we found out and we took in a very human way, we can't be nourished unless we are prepared. So in other words, and we juxtapose this to our human experience, whether it's a spousal relationship or a friendship relationship, if something has happened, you have to talk about it. And if you don't talk about it, then it doesn't matter that you're in the presence of a sacrifice. Oh, I took the trash out. I got you this. I want to embrace you. Okay. And so, can you perceive when an embrace is not nourishing? I hope you can. So in other words, I'm saying you can come and receive Holy Communion physically, but it's not nourishing you. Why? Well, because I've committed a grave sin, and I knew it was grave, and I had full possession of my will. I freely chose it, definitively chose it, but I still haven't gone to confession. See, that's what confession is. It's exercising courage and humility, and it's going to your spouse or going to your friend and saying, I was wrong. Please forgive me. And then you experience an embrace that's real in the sacrament. Maybe not a physical one, but you hear that, and I absolve you. And so now we can come and we can experience the eternal embrace, and it will nourish us. Last week, again, we celebrated the solemnity of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary, so we missed that portion of John's Gospel. And basically what he said is, unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood, you have no life in you. And so now today's Gospel, we're looking at it and they're like, eat your flesh? Drink your blood? You remember, we're talking about the Jewish people. These are people that didn't even eat bacon. Okay? So now he's asking them to eat his flesh and drink his blood. And they're like, that's a hard teaching. You know, for me, that's a game changer. Game over. So the question is, what's the game changer for you, for me? And you're here, so everyone here, I'm assuming that, you know, if you have a game changer, then maybe it's just a game changer of the heart, or maybe, you know, an internal practice of the faith. What am I talking about? I'm talking about something you're like, you know what? That's a teaching of the revelation of Jesus Christ unfolded by his church. And I listen to it and I'm like, no, game changer. See, because that's the way it was for all of those disciples regarding the Eucharist. They didn't understand that he wanted to feed them with this manifestation of his sacrifice. They didn't understand that this would be a personal embrace. They didn't understand that it was going to be something that truly nourished them. Oh, by the way, did you catch that second reading? That a man should lay down his life for his wife, and a woman should lay down her life for her man, and the two should become one flesh. See, that's the bridegroom, and we're the bride. And you're saying, well, what are you saying there? Is the Eucharist something sexual? No. But the bridegroom does meet his bride in a consummation, in a union of persons, right here. And it's supposed to be a nourishing embrace, and one that gives us the strength to go out and to be everything that we've been created to be. Again, what's your game changer? Is it money? Supposed to give 10%. 10%? That money's mine. So I didn't say give 10% to the church. Give something to the church for the temporalities, but make sure that you give 10% away, so that you're not possessed by your possessions. That's game changer. I'm checked out. I'm still going to come to Mass, but I'm checked out when you start talking about that. What about abortion? We can never take the life of an innocent person, no matter what. What about self-defense? Self-defense is not taking the life of an innocent person. They're coming on us. We can defend ourselves even to the point of death. Maybe that's you. Abortion. Got to have a choice. Got to have a choice to kill their child, or I'm out. Relations before marriage, cohabitation, contraception. Real big for our young people, same-sex attraction and transgender dysphoria. You never find peace by following a disordered desire. Are you saying persons are disordered? They're disordered persons? No, I'm not. Nobody is a disordered person. Every one of us has disordered desires, whether they're, heterosexual or same-sex attraction. Does anybody not have disordered desires? Liar. Okay. We all have disordered desires. If you follow that disordered desire, it will not bring you peace, joy, order. Oh, well, Father, if that's what Jesus is saying, then I'm out. Okay? Two more. Well, one more. We'll end with this. The priest. The priest did this, and I am out. The priest changed that light bulb, and my mother bought that light bulb. And that is it. I have had it. We're out of here. Okay? Now that's the mundane. The priest was mean to me. The priest changed a ministry that I was involved with. The priest is spending money in a way that I don't like. You know, it can even get to the worst of the worst. And although it's seldom, unfortunately, those things happen. And it's awful, and it should never be tolerated. Whatever it is, don't leave. Many of his disciples left. They walked away. What about you? Will you leave me? Peter says, Lord, you have the words of everlasting life. We believe that you're the Holy One of God, that he makes himself present for you, that he shows his love when he gave his life for you, right here, when he wants to embrace you, when he wants that embrace to be nourishing to you. Don't leave. First of all, if you have a difficulty with one of the teachings, talk to your best friend. Talk to them. I have a problem with this teaching. Get it out. Start talking. They might say, I have a problem with it too. Okay, I'm strengthened. I'm encouraged. And then go to a priest. If you're uncomfortable with coming to me, go to Father Tony. If you're uncomfortable with either one of us, go down to St. Paul's to Father Babu, or up north to Father Jason, or down south to Father Jude, or go over to Our Lady of Lourdes, or St. Hilary's, or St. Columcille, or go west to Franciscan University, to the Franciscan Friars. Talk to somebody about it. Talk to him through them. Don't allow this game changer to bring about a game over. Because the reality is that he's laid down his life for us. He wishes to feed us. He wishes to embrace us and to nourish us. Don't leave the one who loves you.